This video is going to be extra content for the Haunted and Possessed Dolls episode of the Staring into the Abyss radio show. This one is going to be on Annabelle. Now, Annabelle is probably the most famous of all the Haunted and Possessed dolls, and potentially the most dangerous. Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll that now resides in the Warrens Occult Museum that is in Monroe, Connecticut. They have her in a glass box, and it's encrusted with holy water to keep her from getting out. They say that the doll is actually possessed by a demon, and that's why it's so dangerous. The doll was originally given to a student nurse by her mother in 1970, and there was a lot of weird stuff that was going on with the doll. They would see it out of the corner of their eyes running around and moving, and it kind of freaked them out. So they called a psychic medium in, and they had them, check out the doll and see what's going on. And the psychic medium told the woman that the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a dead girl named Annabelle Higgins that was actually buried underneath their apartment. So according to the legend, the student nurse and her roommate Angie first tried to accept and nurture the doll. They tried to be like, okay, it's cool, it's a haunted doll, we're going to be friends with it, right? But eventually it got to be too much for them because things just kept getting worse. The doll kept moving a lot more, and it actually started having like a red blood-like substance start oozing from its hands, and it began attacking people, and it just became a very, very dangerous situation. So they ended up calling in the Warrens, and the Warrens came and they did an investigation, and ultimately they ended up removing the doll from the house and taking it to their museum and locking it away in that case I was telling you about that has the holy water encrusting it, and they called it a demonic doll. They said that it's possessed by a demon. There are some people that say that it isn't, that it's all hogwash, but I think you're always going to have that. On any paranormal case, you're going to have people that don't believe it and say that it's nonsense. There's a lot of people that say that it is absolutely, one of the most haunted dolls out there. These same people that claim that the Annabelle doll doesn't have anything special about it, that it's not possessed, that there's no haunted doll there, and they claim that the Warrens are frauds. Those same people are also the same kind of people that always claim this stuff as a fraud. You know what I mean? We know that the Warrens have quite the reputation for a lot of the cases they've worked. There is no debating, in my mind at least, the fact that they are what they say they are. They were involved with the Amityville Horror House. They were involved with the haunting in Connecticut. They were involved with Annabelle. There's a lot of different cases that the Warrens have done. So I think to say that it's just all nonsense, I don't think that's really being fair. I think you're going to always have skeptics. You're always going to have those people that don't believe in these kind of things. But I think the Warrens are pretty above board. You know what I mean? They're pretty believable. So I'm going to do a show on Staring into the Abyss. Me and Old Boy are going to do a show on the Warrens coming up. And we're going to talk all about the history of the Warrens, some of the cases they were involved in. It's going to be a very interesting show. I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but it will be coming up. And you'll get a little bit more information about that. But this has been Annabelle, the Haunted Doll.